Hey, what's happening, everybody? It's your old pal, Mr. Butter, coming back at you again. Today I want to take a look at an absolute classic that we haven't seen release for over a decade. If you're into kicks and you feel like hanging out, then hit that subscribe button. Let's take a look at these Jordan 12 Taxis. And before we get to the pair that you're here to see, since there's so much buzz about the Travis Fragments dropping here soon, I thought it would be a good opportunity to throw on these Travis Scott Jordan 1 Lows in the velvet brown colorway. This is actually the only pair of Travis Scott Jordan 1s that I was ever able to get in my size for retail, and that was thanks to my good buddy, my good cousin GK. But anyway, let's get to the pair you're here to see. It is wonderful to be back here with y'all again. I am really pumped to pick up this pair today. I was able to get them at my local Finish Line, and it looks like they are widely available both online and in store. They said they only had a couple of people come in and grab pairs at my local store, and I think that's great. This is not a shoe that I wanted for resale purposes. This is a pair that I wanted just because of my memories of this pair. I was in high school the first time this pair released, and I just remember Jordan playing in these a lot. I think for more than one season, he rocked this exact colorway of the Jordan 12. I mentioned it's been over a decade since we've seen this exact colorway, and we've seen a lot of things that were close to this colorway. We've seen the royalties, which I think were probably the closest. Then we saw like the black taxis. We've seen some alternates and that sort of thing, but it feels good to finally get this pair. It's actually been 12 years since we saw this exact colorway release, so I just knew that I wanted to take advantage of this. I don't care that they're easy to get. I'm glad they're easy to get because I know a lot of people such as myself really want this pair. We did get the classic OG Jordan box on these. It has a Nike swoosh on the top and it's cardboard colored. Then the sides of the top is like an orangish red color, and the base is a black cardboard. The tag reads Air Jordan 12 Retro. The colors are white, black, and taxi. I went true to size with my size 10 on this pair. I forget exactly what the retail price on these was, but I know my total came to just over $200, and I also used a $20 off status reward. I don't know how much prices will dip. I don't think resale will get really high for a long time because they made these so widely available, but this is probably a pair if you're patient on. Maybe they'll go on sale, and you'll probably be able to save some money on them if you go through like resale platforms like GOAT, StockX, that sort of thing as well. But that's enough of me yapping about the box and the price.
Holy nostalgia, Batman.
The older I get, the more I realize there are specific colorways on certain silhouettes that just automatically take me back to my childhood, and this is one of them. I think this colorway, along with the Flu Game colorway on the Jordan 12, they gotta be my absolute favorites. This is probably the easiest colorway to wear out of all the Jordan 12s, in my opinion. I kind of put this colorway up there with like the Black Toe Jordan 14. It's a white sneaker, it's got some black on it, but then there's just these little accents of gold that you see there on the eyelets, up there at the top of the eye stays, and then we have that little hit of gold at the top of the tag on the heel, and we get that little flash of color from the outsole as well. This colorway first came out in '96, and when I think of Jordan playing in a Jordan 12, I either think of these taxis or else the Flu Game Jordan 12s. A lot of people have been complaining about the shapes of 12s recently, and on some pairs I can see what they're talking about, but personally I feel like the Jordan brand really nailed the shape of these. I don't think they look like they're too flat or too elongated in the front. I think it looks like it's a nice gradual slope going from the back of the shoe to the front, and really these are close enough to the originals for me that I'm a big fan. There are a few small little QC issues that I saw right off the bat, one of them being I've got a little glue stain here on the side, and that might not even come through on camera, but whenever the light hits it just right, you can see that there's a little bit of glue on this white leather here. And then I also saw a little smudge of glue on the little Jumpman emblem, that little black plastic piece down by the midsole. But again, if you're not looking for it, you're not going to see it. So I would say overall QC on my pair came out really good. On top of that, I think that this white tumbled leather that we got on this upper is a little bit softer than what we usually get on Jordan 12s. But beyond all that, I'm just really happy that I finally have the OG taxi colorway in the Jordan 12. Looking at the outsole, it's a standard Jordan 12 tread pattern. We get herringbone traction under the heel and the forefoot. It's mostly all in just this black color, but at the midfoot we can see that carbon fiber peeking through, and that is in a yellow, goldish, and black color. I think that's a really neat touch. And then we have this yellow gold 23 accent up here underneath the forefoot, along with that classic Jumpman logo that wraps up to the toe of the shoe. The black rubber from the outsole wraps up to the midsole area, and that meets areas of black foam that kind of have this lizard skin texture, and then that kind of merges into this overlay that we see up here on the upper, and that's in a black leather, but it's got this lizard skin texture, and I've always been a big fan of that. You can see it on the outside of the shoe as well as on the inside of the shoe. We also get this little black plastic accent, and it says Jumpman on it. It might be hard to see on camera, but in person you can see it pretty good. This is one of the things that was gold on the Royalty pair. I think the Royalty pair was basically this exact shoe, but it had gold accents down here for these plastic pieces, and then they had black laces in them instead of the OG white. As we come to the heel of the midsole, we do have areas of white foam, and then at the back, that black rubber wraps up on the heel, and we have that nice 23 accent in a red color. The base of this entire upper, along with this tongue, are just a nice bright white tumbled leather, and as I've already mentioned, they feel nice and soft, and I love all these lines of stitching that we get going through the upper. I think that was inspired by the Japanese flag, like the sun rays coming off of that. And you can definitely see that inspiration on there, but I've just always thought that it gives it a cool like rib cage kind of feature, and I just like the shape that it gives that whole upper. It's always hard to get it perfectly lined up, but this tongue is the same white tumbled leather, and in black stitching it says 2 and then the number 3 at the base of it, and that's embroidered on, and then at the top of that tongue we have a black Jumpman embroidered on. I've already pointed it out, but I really like these gold accents up at the top of the laces. They have a little Jumpman on there, and it's just a plastic piece, but I think it really makes this pair look classy. On the heel, we have that same style tag that we always see on Jordan 12s. It's kind of just like a canvas material, but it says Jordan, and it says quality inspired by the greatest player ever. And once again, I just love that little hit of gold that we have at the top of the tag. These only came with white rope style laces that are already in the shoes. I think black laces would look good, but for me, I'm just going to keep them stock the way they were back in the day. There's no need to change a classic like this. It looks like we got a black sock liner on this pair, and then our insole is also black, and it's got a red Jumpman down on there. Well, that was a pretty quick look at these Jordan 12s in the taxi colorway. Like I said, I'm just really happy that I was able to get them in my size easily. I hope a lot of you were able to grab them as well. I know that they're sitting. I think that's great. I don't know how long they'll sit for, but I just didn't want to chance it and miss out on my opportunity to own this OG classic. Let me know what you all think about these. Let me know if you've picked up any pairs of kicks lately. I hope everybody has good luck on those Travis fragments. I'm going to be watching for them, and I know I'll be going for them whenever they release, but I am realistic enough to know I am not going to touch those things for retail, but I hope a lot of you people do. I appreciate you all watching tremendously, and I will catch you all on the next one. I'm out.